in the Tanakh that talks about Teshuvah. What is that book? That book is the book of Yonah. Let me get this. Okay, airplane mode. All right. The book of Yonah is the book that we read as the Haftarah in Mincha of Yom Kippur. And as you know, there are different books for different things in the Tanakh. For example, the book of Yov is a response, the Jewish response, or the Tanakh response, for why bad things happen to good people. For example, right? There are other books, like they register the history of the Jews in Paras, like Yonah Esther. Other books are philosophy, or like Shlomo HaMelech, wisdom, Mishlei, existential philosophy, Kohelet, all this type of things. Ahavat Hashem, how Hashem loves us and how we love Hashem, Shir HaShirim. Right? Now, this book is a book about Teshuvah. It's a book about Teshuvah. Alright? So let's read this book. It's very, very interesting. Let's see how much we can cover. Vahi devar Adonai el Yonah ben Amitai lemor. Borei Olam talked to Yonah. Yonah ben Amitai. Yonah, son of Amitai. There is nothing, no indication about the time when this happened. Okay? But more or less, I can tell you, this must have happened in the 8th or 9th century before the Common Era. Okay, long time ago. So Borei Olam comes to Yonah and he talks to him. Now, this is called prophecy, nebuah. Nebuah is something that only existed in Am Israel, no place else. Let me clarify something to you. When I say that nebuah existed only in Am Israel, I mean the following. Within the Goyim, I want you to listen to this very carefully. Within the Goyim, there was never even a claim that God talked to them in the time of our Nabi. Never anyone thought about this or invented something like that. Okay? And Borei Olam, we believe, talked to certain people, to the Nabi. How he talked, etc. This is something for discussion. But he communicated with them. So Borei Olam communicated with Yonah, and he told him, Kum lech el Nineveh ha'ir ha'gedola ukra aleha. He says, go to the city of Nineveh. Nineveh is in today's Iraq. It's part of the goal of ISIS. What ISIS.
Sorry, before you continue, what was Bilam? Bilam was...
Bilam, yeah, you're right. Bilam was a prophet. But what I'm saying is that within the Goyim, in Rome, in Greece, in Persian Empire, in Babylonian Empire, Assyrian Empire, the Phoenicians, nobody ever claimed, God talked to us. Okay?
But he was a prophet?
He was a prophet, yes. Bilam was a prophet, yes. You're right. Bilam was a prophet. Chachamim said, לא קם בישראל כמשה עוד, which means that Bilam, yes, was of the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. Chachamim explained that this is done by Borei Olam, so they will say, if we would have had a prophet, we would have also been as good as you are. Right. So now Borei Olam tells Yonah something that is completely different from what has been said to all the rest of the Nevi'im. Kum lechem Nineveh ha'ir ha'gedola ukra aleh. Go to Nineveh, the city, the great metropolis, and talk to them, and tell them, and call, summon them. Ki aleta ra'atam lefanai, because their bad behavior had come before me, in front of me. All right? And now, Borei Olam is telling Yonah, go and bring a prophecy. And prophecy doesn't mean, I'm going to tell you the future. this is the number in the lottery or something like that. Prophecy means warning. I come on behalf of Borei Olam, I have a message. You are not doing the right thing. Okay? You are not doing this, you are not doing that. This is Borei Olam is not happy. Okay? That was the... לעורר, yes. To wake you up, but with a strong message from Hashem. So now, Borei Olam is telling Yonah, go and tell the people of Nineveh to do teshuvah. Now it's not explicit here, but this is what it is. Ukra aleh, tell them. To give you a little bit of a sense of it, more or less what happened with Sodom v'Amorah. You remember? Sodom v'Amorah? Borei Olam saw that they were behaving in a very bad way. And he considered to destroy the city. Now, it happens the same thing with Nineveh. But Borei Olam says, I'm going to warn them, and I'm going to send you, a Jewish prophet, to tell them. Why Borei Olam sends a Jewish prophet? One of the explanations is that Nebuah can happen only within Eretz Israel, not outside Eretz Israel. So, if you would be Yonah, what would you do?
Run away.
Run away? No, seriously. If you would be Yonah, if you would be called by Hashem, and Hashem tells you, go and talk to the people and tell them that they are not behaving okay, what would you do?
You have to go.
It's not an easy question, it's not an easy answer. Right. Imagine that this happens to you. That you are sure that yesterday night or tonight Borei Olam talks to you. And then you listen, go to the whole community and tell them that, they have to do this, they have to do that, they have to all be Shomer Shabbat. Imagine Borei Olam tells you that. What would you do?
They will tell you
seriously.
Case, no?
I'm asking you a practical question. Imagine you are sure this is Borei Olam, and he tells you that. How would you do? Would you go? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wouldn't you be afraid that people would say, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Borei Olam talk to you? Something like that.
True believer, you should do it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yonah didn't do it. Why Yonah didn't do it? Yonah chose a different path. Vayakom Yonah libroach Tarshisha. And Yonah escaped. He wanted to escape to Tarshisha. I'm reading a fascinating book. Fascinating book. It's called Carthage Must Be Destroyed. Have you heard this? You know what Carthage is or was? Very important city. Carthage. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Carthage? Yeah?
Where was that?
Where was that? Carthage was in Tunisia, at the end of Tunisia, very close to Sicily, close to Italy, the Mediterranean. The Phoenicians were there. Okay, and they had Hannibal. You heard about Hannibal? That he fought with the Romans. You can. All right. So the Phoenicians were the first sailors of the sea. They developed a way to navigate the sea. They were the first. As early as the 8th century BCE. Why? Because before the Phoenicians, all what they have were like boats, like flat boats. And with flat boats, you can go in the river. But if you go with a flat boat in the sea, boom, it's going to go bad for you. So they invented this. Look what they invented. This is what they invented. You understand? This type of ships, this kind of shape. So now, this type of, boats, they can navigate the sea because they have much more solid, location and placement in the sea. And they were experts sailors. Now, apparently, even in the 9th century BCE, by the way, in the 10th century BCE, they were partners, guess with whom? With Shlomo HaMelech, Hiram, Melech Tzor. This is the city of Tzor, in Lebanon. They were partners. And they transported by the sea, by the Mediterranean Sea, they transported hundreds of Arze Lebanon, of big trees, with which Shlomo HaMelech built the Bet HaMikdash. This is not a story that is foreign to us. It's very close to us. Please look in Sefer Melachim, you will see all the treaties they did. Sorry, that was it. All the treaties they did between Hiram and Shlomo HaMelech. And Shlomo HaMelech sent them kemach, flour, this, that, and olive oil, and they sent wood, a lot of wood. You know, can you imagine transporting wood from Lebanon to Haifa or something like that, or Lud, or one of the ports, or Ashdod? Very difficult to transport that on the sea. But they were experts navigators. And they navigated even in the 10th century, BCE, 3,000 years ago. They navigated even to Spain. Do you see the Mediterranean Sea? Do you see it? Okay? So you have the northern part of the Mediterranean, like Greece, Italy, France, Spain. Okay? And you have Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Nigeria, Morocco. Okay? That's the Mediterranean. So they were very strong in all the Mediterranean coast, the Phoenicians. All right? Now why I'm telling you? I know. Because Tarshish apparently is Tartasso, which is in Spain. So Yonah, in the 8th or 9th century before the Common Era, wanted to escape to Spain, which was the farthest any human could escape. Nineveh, if this is the Mediterranean, Nineveh was here in Iraq. He wanted to go to Spain to escape to the other side. This was discovered only recently at Tarshish. It's Tartasso. So he went to a ship that was probably controlled by Phoenicians. Okay? All right. So Vayakom Librach Tarshish Lifnei Hashem. He wanted to escape from Hashem. How can you escape from Hashem? Escaping from God. Very difficult. I don't think we are able to feel this because we were never in a situation that Yonah was. And we were called directly, personally, by Borei Olam for a mission. Right? Vayered Yafo, he went to Yafo. Yafo is a port. Vayimsa Onia, and he saw there, he found a ship. Ba Tarshish, that is going to Tarshish. Not Onia, it's not an Onia that is taking passengers. It's a commerce, trade. Okay? That is trading things, bringing
Cargo ship.
Cargo ship, thank you. Cargo ship that bring exotic things from the Middle East to Spain and precious metal and stones from Spain to the Middle East. By Ten Sechara, and he paid. He paid. By Yeredba, and he went back again. You see, there are some things very interesting. By Yered Yafo, he went down to Yafo, and now by Yered, he went down again to this Onia, to this ship. Lavo imahem Tarshish Lifnei Hashem, to escape with them to Tarshish from the face of Hashem. Okay. Now, the only possible explanation of escaping from Hashem, because Yonah is a Jew, he knows that Borei Olam, Melo Cholar Eskebo, is everywhere. So what could be the only explanation that he's escaping from Hashem? What I said before, that Nebuah is possible only in Eretz Israel. This is why he's escaping from Hashem communicating with him. Okay? But Borei Olam didn't leave Yonah. Didn't leave him. He wanted Yonah to go. Now, why Yonah doesn't want to go? Why Yonah doesn't want to go? to Tarshish and save the city and tell the people, you are sinners and Hashem wants to punish you. Do teshuvah. If not, Hashem is going to destroy the city. Why not?
Scared.
Scared?
If they do teshuvah, and the Jewish people here, they'd be better than Jews maybe? Or...
Okay, very good. The answer is we don't know. We have no idea. Because the Torah, I said this many times, the Torah, the Tanakh, Jewish literature, our literature has many special things. One of the special things that it has is that it never reveals you the motives, the reasons why people do what they do. If you read any other book, the most important thing will tell you is why the characters are behaving this way or the other way. The Torah leaves this for interpretation. It's open. There are many philosophical reasons, maybe why, Bechira Chofshit, etc. But it's great. It leaves this question completely open. So I'm going to collect some answers, knowing that I cannot say this is the one. What you say is true. Let me see. One, because he didn't want, he suspected that the Goyim, they may do teshuvah. And if they do teshuvah, maybe they will, it will be like a slap on the face in Israel, because Israel had like 40 Nevi'im and they kind of never did teshuvah with the 40 Nevi'im, 40 prophets that they had. Okay? This is one. Second, you were scared, okay? You were scared. But you have to be scared of Hashem. As I say to you, if Boreolam talks to you and you have to stand in the bima of a big community and tell them what Hashem told you, you will be scared, but you will be more scared of Boreolam, right?
What about the Korach, his kids, they went down the hall and
Right.
they came out. What was the purpose they did teshuvah? What was the reason?
Oh, well, they did teshuvah. The kids, they did teshuvah.
Well, what was the purpose? They don't reason why they want to make teshuvah? What? They see the sun come out.
Right. Well, they saw what happened with the father, etc. But in this case, okay, let me give you another one. Let me give you another answer. Okay, I want you to judge this answer with your criteria. What if Yonah was against teshuvah? How and why you could be against teshuvah? You understand my question? Yes.
Maybe he just didn't agree with Hashem just forgiving them just like that.
Right.
The tshuva process.
Yeah, this is a possibility. He said, wait a second, I disagree. Maybe, if you did something wrong, you have to pay for it. What do you mean? Let them get destroyed. Why should you
But it's
forgive
not
them?
up to him to question God.
Right.
You're wrong.
Absolutely right. Okay. I agree also with you. You're right too. Or maybe, or perhaps, he thought that this Midat HaRachamim, Teshuvah, which is a gift, is a non-natural gift. It's an supra-rational, more than rational gift. Is only reserved for Am Israel. It shouldn't be for the Goyim. Maybe this is what he thought.
What was the question?
That why Yonah didn't want to go. And the answer is, as I said, we don't know. We can only speculate. Give a little bit of explanation, but we don't know why. We don't know why. Okay? Now, Borei Olam doesn't let go. He doesn't let Yonah leave. But Adonai hetil ruach gedolah el hayam. A perfect storm on this ship. Ba'i sa'ar gadol bayam. And a terrible storm. Ve'oneach hisheva le'ishaver. And the ship was about to collapse, to be destroyed. Va'ireu ha'malachim. And the sailors were very afraid. Because they said, well, we're going to die. Va'iza'aku ish el Elohav. And because there were all type of people there, I said, in my opinion, and that's something without any evidence, I think they were Phoenicians, because they were the experts in navigation. But they also have saviors for every other place, from Greece, from Sardinia, from here, from there. So everybody called his own God. God with small g. Okay? ויזעקו איש אל אלוהיו, ויטילו את הכלים אשר באונייה, and they got rid of all the merchandise that was in the ship. אל הים, להקל מעליהם, so it will be a little more easy to maneuver. ויונה, what did Yonah do? For the third time we find this verb again. We already have ירד אל יפו, ירד אל האונייה, now Yonah, ויונה ירד אל ירכתי הספינה. Yonah went to the
Deep
internal part
belly of the ship.
The belly of the belly of the ship. The belly of the ship here. Not that they had its room. Probably they had here some places to to sleep. וישכב וירדם. And he lie down and he fell asleep. He fell asleep. Now, why he fell asleep? What did he want to do? It's like to me, he's in a what?
Oh, I thought he was like kind of suicidal.
Yes, same thing. In a suicidal mood. He was going to say this. Not like in a suicidal mood. Yeah, okay, whatever happens. He must have had a very good and strong reason not to want to go to Nineveh. Okay, we don't know why. We know that the prophets, they suffer. They really suffer. Yirmiyahu, he suffered a lot. Ishayahu, a little less, but he also suffered. He suffered persecution. Ishayahu apparently was assassinated by his own grandson, Menashe. Alright? Apparently he was assassinated by him. Okay, and Yirmiyahu was put in jail and offended, and people beat him. It was terrible. Even with Am Israel. Maybe he was scared, I don't know. וישכב וירדם, ויקרב אליו רב החובל. And now the master of the ship, he came to Yonah. Very interesting. Rab HaChovel. What is Rab HaChovel? Chovel, from the word Hevel. Hevel means Chavalim. What is Hevel? Ropes. Rab HaChovel means the one in charge of managing the ropes.
The sail.
Big
The sail.
to say?
The sail, yeah.
Okay.
The sail that they move up.
Right. Because these are the movements you have to do in order to make the interaction between three forces. You have the force of the sea, you have the force of the wind, and the sails that can direct the boat to one place or other place with these two forces. Right. So that's Rab HaChovel. By the way, there is from here this big word in Hebrew, tahbulot. Betahbulot ta'aseh lecha micha. What is tahbulot? Tahbulot means strategies, which means I have to maneuver the ropes to use this force and this force to that direction. Tahbulot. The same thing. So Rab HaChovel comes to Yonah, Vayomer lo, and he tells him what we say in Selichot. Ben Adam, Ma lecha nirdam. Yonah, Ma lecha nirdam. What are you doing sleeping? Are you crazy? Everybody is crazy because I'm about to die, and you are sleeping? What's wrong with you? Ma lecha nirdam. Kum kera el Elohecha. Please go and call your God. Because they thought, probably naively, innocently, they thought that every God has some power, some limited power over the sea, and they saw the goyim, they saw the gods all fighting against each other. All right, this is what they thought. So it says, "Kum kera el Elohecha, ulai ta'ashet Elohim lanu velo noved." Maybe he will listen to us. He will have some compassion for us, and we will not die. And they said, to each other, לכו ונפיל הגורלות. Let's do goral. Let's do like a lottery to see which one is, because they thought also that the goral is part of the language of the gods. You see? The Goyim thought that. Okay? For us, it's only if Borei Olam say that, like Kurim Betumim, etc. But we don't believe that Borei Olam can be maneuvered by the Goral. You understand my question, or the problem I'm presenting to you here? Do you? Let's say I want to know if I take Coca-Cola or ketchup, okay? And now I don't know. I say, okay, I don't know what Borei Olam wants from me, but I'm going to find out in a second, because tails or head of tails, heads or tails. Borei Olam, you are the master, and you control everything, right? If you control everything, you are going to decide if it's head or tails, which means that you're going to tell me in a second, what do you want me to take, to drink? And if it's tails, Borei Olam want me to drink this, I'm going to do it. What do you think about this logic? Why not? It's impeccable. From the point of view of logic, it's impeccable. Because we do believe that Borei Olam controls everything. And it's only because he decided that it's going to be heads, that is heads. Right? Right? But those are not the rules of the game. But for the Goyim, they would manipulate their gods in this kind of thing. Okay? Now, somehow, Borei Olam made this Goral play in the right way. So they did the Goral. The guy there in the belly of the ship. Tell us why we have suffered this terrible problem. We are about to die. Now they start to inquire about him. They want to know, what do you do? Are you a thief? Maybe you are a runaway fugitive? You are an assassin? What kind of person you are? Where are you coming from? You took the ship in Israel, we know, but maybe you belong to a different place. From which people you are? Which people you are? Like in Italian, right? In Italian, how do you say Jew in Italian? Hebraico. I think the only place, the only language in the world, probably, where you still say Hebraico and not Jew, is Italian. Am I correct?
Also, Mashad is like free.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And here in Russia also that's what they use.
Oh, well, okay. Russia, so I was wrong. What do you say?
Ivri means Jew?
Ivri means Jew, of course. Yes, Ivri means Jew. It's a different way of saying Jew. Yes, Ivri Anoch. Don't forget that the name Jew comes only after the division between Kingdom of Israel, Kingdom of Yehuda. Okay? So in this time, the best way to describe yourself was Ivri Anochi.
Bnei Israel.
Ivri Anochi. But listen, they understood immediately what he was trying to say. Bet Adonai Elohei Hashamayim ani yareh. Listen carefully. Et Hashem Elohei Hashamayim ani yareh. I am respectful of Borei Olam, which is the God of heavens. Revolution now. Asher asa et hayam ve'et hayabasha. In one word, he taught these people monotheism. In one sentence, in one short sentence, Elohei Hashamayim. Elohei Hashamayim is God of heavens. Okay. Asher asa et hayam, that he did, and ergo he governs the yam, the sea, and the yabasha, and the land. Because these people, they thought there is a God for heavens a god for Yavasha, for land, a god for the sea. They try to appease the god of the sea now. And maybe the god of the sea was fighting with the god of heaven. And this is what is bringing the storm. But God tells you, no, there is only one God. And somehow they believe. These people, listen, within the story, this big story, there are sub-stories. So this is one of the sub-stories. These people, they did teshuvah. Something amazing happened right now. Vayirehu ha'anashim ir'a gedolah. These people were like, wow, terrified, but also in awe. Because now they heard there is a God. There's one God. The Goyim, they were fascinated with Am Yisrael, always. When they heard about Am Yisrael, if they were intelligent especially, they were fascinated. In this book I'm reading right now, that I'm telling you, Alexander the Great, he destroyed every civilization. Every civilization that they, for example, the Phoenicians in Sor, the year 310, before the Common Era, he destroyed them because they didn't allow him into their sanctuary or something like that. We did something even more difficult. We didn't allow Alexander to put his own a statue inside, but somehow he was very respectful, and he understood Judaism and he valued it, and he let us live. He could have, God forbid, destroy us, as he destroyed every other civilization he went. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
They were different than the Persians. The Persians, especially Cyrus, he was very smart. He was the first one, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians. He was the first one that when he went into a city, he offered peace. Instead of killing the king, he said to the king, come to my kingdom, I'm going to give you a pension, a royal pension. And he gave him a royal pension. Okay? Those who took this as a sign of weakness, then he castigated them. But that is how he was able to build the biggest ever empire in the history of humankind. And his son Cambyses did the same thing. That was their strategy. Okay? But Alexander the Great, he didn't. There were savages, or Romans, savages. All right. Now, what did you do? You kill someone. Now he knows that he's running away from Hashem. Now, very interesting. He doesn't say anything. Okay? He only said that he's escaping from Hashem. Now, did he tell all the details about this nevuah, his mission? We don't know. So what will we do? What are we going to do? And they were not savages. They didn't want to kill him. They were compassionate. It's getting worse. And he said, Sa'uni ve'itiluni el hayam, ve'ishtok hayam me'alechem. Take me, lift me, and just throw me to the sea. Because he is in a suicidal, he wants so much to escape. I was asking at the beginning, why Yonah didn't want to go? Why he refused to fulfill Borei Olam's command? It's so strange. And he's willing to be killed. So it must have been something very, very, very troubling for Yonah. So we thought about some things, but there is nothing explicit in the Tanakh. So the people, before they made this decision, they tried to go back, and they couldn't. Go back to Yafo, they couldn't. Because the sea is like, the Midrash says that there were like 10 different ships in the sea. They all were okay. The only one that was the storm following it, that was the ship of Yonah. והשיב עליהם, אשר לא יכולו, כי הים הולך לסוער עליהם. ויקראו לאדוני ויאמרו. And now they call Hashem. Now what do they call Hashem for? They're not calling Hashem to stop. They say, Ana, Adonai, אל לנו בדעת בנפש האיש הזה. Please, do not let us kill this person. ולא תיתן עלינו דם נקי. כי אתה לא כאשר חפשת עשית. Because Borelam, you are the one, you do whatever you wanted. Okay, we know that this is your will. So now they take Yonah, they throw him. וישאו את יונה ויטילוהו אל הים, ויעמוד הים מזעם. And as soon as Yonah landed into the sea, and now he's going down again, okay, now the sea is quiet. ויראו אנשים, second time, and they were very afraid. They were in awe. יראה גדולה את אדוני. And what did they do? They offered korbanot to Borelam. ויזבחו זבח לאדוני, וידרו נדרים, and they did some vows to Hashem. What they did teshuvah, I don't know. They converted, I doubt it. But it's a moment of truth. It's a moment that they see finally the truth that there is one God. And you know the rest of the story. I'm going to go to a little further. You know the rest of the story, that Yonah is swallowed by a whale, and he's there in the whale. And the whale, instead of going to Tarshish, which I said is Spain, it takes him to let's say Turkey or some place like that. And from there, he has to go to Nineveh. So he arrives to Nineveh. And when he arrives to Nineveh, he makes this announcement. ויהי דבר אדוני אל יונה שנית לאמור, קום לך לנינווה העיר הגדולה. I escaped one chapter, I'm in chapter 3 right now. וקרא אליה את הקריה אשר אנוכי דובר אליך. Go and tell them what I told you. ויקום יונה, וילך אל נינווה כדבר אדוני. ונינווה הייתה עיר גדולה לאלוהים מהלך 3 ימים. It was a very big city. To go across the city, you have to walk for 3 days, to go from one end of the city to the next end of the city. Okay, so tens, perhaps thousands, hundreds of thousands of people lived in these times in Nineveh. ויחל יונה לבוא בעיר מהלך יום אחד. So he went one day, so he got more or less to the core of the city, to the center of the city. ויאמר עוד 40 יום נינווה נהפכת. In 40 days, Nineveh is going to be destroyed. Now, according to the text, this is the only thing he said. That's it. He didn't repeat it again according to the text. Just said it once. Okay, let's say in the main square of the city. All right? עוד 40 יום בנינווה נהפכת. And they believed him. Why did they believe him? Perhaps he was a Jew. We don't know. Perhaps they also felt that this was not good. Unfortunately, when it came to Am Israel, the Nevi'im had a very difficult time, because they were always carrying bad news. And imagine that I'm a Navi, and this is a Navi Sheker, and I come and say, listen, this is going to happen if you don't do this, if you don't do that. And this Navi Sheker comes and says, don't listen to him, everything is wonderful, Hashem loves you as you are, don't listen to him. Very negative vibes, not good. So which one you will prefer? You will prefer the one that is speaking with optimism, like in the time of Yirmiyahu. They say, Yirmiyahu was saying, listen, the Bet HaMikdash is going to be destroyed. And the Nevi'im said, what? How dare you? How dare you? You think Borei Olam is going to allow the Bet HaMikdash to be destroyed? This is sacrilege what you say. You're speaking against Borei Olam. You don't think he's strong enough? Now, which one you will believe? Sounds very convincing. And Yirmiyahu said like 5 times, Echad Hashem, you say, Echad Hashem, Echad Hashem, Echad Hashem, Echad Hashem. How Hashem is going to allow his house to be destroyed? Yes, he's going to allow his house to be destroyed. But people believe the Nevi Sheker. They didn't believe the true Nevi'im that they brought, unfortunately, warnings and bad news.
But how can you blame them anyway?
The people.
Yeah. If I was there, I would believe in Nevi Sheker also.
We have to always defend Am Yisrael, as you said. But what happened here? This is a slap on the face. In hindsight, that's the most serious affront against Am Yisrael. It could be that Yonah, it could be that Yonah suspected that the Goyim might listen more than the Jews, and he didn't want to make, very bad propaganda for
It
Am
was
Yisrael.
like a miracle. This guy, his skin is already messed up from the fish.
Exactly.
He's walking 3 days. He probably looks very bad. He comes in the middle of the city, nobody knows, and then he screams in 40 days, he's going to be destroyed, and say, oh, they believe him.
We don't even know if he was with his clothes or not. Ishayahu, one time, Borei Olam told Ishayahu, go naked in front of the city and talk.
Also,
We don't know if this is a mashal, no mashal, but apparently it's a peshat.
So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, same thing.
No, but this is the Nevi'im, that's explicit in there. No, it has to talk. So we don't know, how did he look? Maybe that also made an impression. We don't know why. Again, the Torah doesn't tell you why. Vayaminu anshe niveh be'Elohim. They believe in God. They believe in Borei Olam. Perhaps, this is the peshat. Sorry, this is what is explicit, but perhaps he said more things. So I'm coming from Israel, Borei Olam talked to me. Perhaps he said more things. But Cholaseh, they believe him by Greuso, and then they call for a day of fast. By Mesusakim, and they wear sackcloth. Migedolam be'ad kitanam, from the oldest to the youngest. Vayiga adavar el melech Niniveh. And now the king of Nineveh knows. And normally, you will say, where is this guy? Let me kill him. Unfortunately, it's so difficult to talk this way, but the Nevi'im were always threatened by the kings. Like Menashe wanted to kill, Ahab wanted to kill Eliyahu Hanavi. Menashe wanted to kill or killed, according to the Midrash, at Ishayahu. Okay, and all the kings, the last kings of Yehudah, also they wanted to get rid of Yirmiyahu. But this king, incredibly, Vayakom mikiso, Vayamer adarto me'alav, and he removed his cloak, how do you say, cape, his royal cape, Vayichasak, and he wore sackcloth. He believed. Vayeshev al ha'efer. He sat, with ashes. So they did everything like a Jew would do. Ta'anit and avelut. Vayaz'ek vayomer b'Niniveh. And he made an announcement in all Nineveh. The king, mitam ha'melech ugdolav lemor, on behalf of the king and all the ministers, to say, Ha'adam be'abema be'abakar be'atzon ali tamu me'uma. Nobody can eat. Not the people, not the animals. That's the goy thing. The animals. We don't do that. The animals. Vayitkasu sakim ha'adam be'abema, and they put sackcloth also in the animals. We don't know why they put sackcloth in the animals. Vayikru Elohim bechoska, and they called God bechoska. let me explain to you something so you understand. They didn't have any problem in turning to another God temporarily. You understand? It's not that they converted, they became Jews, and from there we all come, or something like that. Okay? No. Probably they went back, but in those days, every people was willing to accept another God. Everyone except us, because we have only one. You understand? So yeah, okay, Elohim is saying this, Elohim. Also Paro mentioned Elohim. Okay?
So they were worshipping the animals, that's why they
Could be they worshiping the animals. Yeah, they thought that the animals are a kind of God, like the Egyptians.
So why would Hashem accept their teshuvah? They still
Oh, because Hashem didn't see that. Wait. By Yashu, this is the key pasuk of the whole book of Yonah, and the reason we read is because of this. Vayashuvu ish midarko hara'a. Borei Olam didn't say, I want to kill all of them because they are not doing ta'anit for me, they are not fasting enough for me. He didn't say that. He said that they were behaving in a very bad way. Vayashuvu, they did teshuvah, vayashuvu teshuvah. Midarko hara'a. They repented and they changed their bad habits. Umine Hamas. Sounds familiar, Hamas? And from the corruption. Asher bekapehem, that was in their hands. They did teshuvah like unfortunately Am Yisrael never did teshuvah in this way. Biyodea, perhaps, Yashub, teshuvah, right? Yashub benichama Elohim, and Borei Olam will perhaps, change his mind. The one that did teshuvah is a king. Chizkiah HaMelech, he did teshuvah. You know the story, right? That when Yeshayahu comes...
He was a Shah, no?
No, Chizkiyahu, no. Chizkiyahu was a tzaddik. Borei Olam comes to Yeshayahu and tells him, go tell Chizkiyahu, you're going to die because you didn't want to have children. And Yeshayahu told Chizkiyahu, you didn't have to have children, I was going to kill you. He said, no, I don't want to have children because I know it's going to be a very bad son, and it was. And he says, okay, I'm going to give you my daughter, etc. Well, whatever. Yeshayahu told him, no. He said, no, you cannot do teshuvah. Olam is going to kill you. And Chizkiyahu did teshuvah against the prophecy. So the prophecy is a warning. It's not like I see the future. It's like, the game of Back to the Future, different alternative futures. This will be the future if you do that or if you don't do that. But it could change. He was able to change the decree. Chizkiah HaMelech. He was able to do it. So we had this beautiful example. I did a beautiful tefillah, and Borei Olam forgave him and gave him more years of life. And unfortunately then he had a son, which was the worst ever king that we had. ואולי, מי יודע, וישוב בניחם אלוהים ושב מחרון אפו ולא נאבד. Maybe we will not die. Bayar, now, gentlemen, ladies, Chachamim, they didn't talk a lot, our rabbis, about what should you say in the synagogue. Do you know any ma'amarim of Hazar? This is what a rabbi should say in the synagogue, Shabbat or Sukkot or Rosh Hashanah, except Yom Kippur. They said in Yom Kippur the rabbi has to teach this, what I'm teaching you right now. This is what you have to teach. It doesn't say, the pasuk doesn't say, and Borei Olam saw that they were wearing sackcloth and they were doing ta'anit, and also the goats were wearing sackcloth, and all the dogs were wearing sackcloth, and the dogs were not allowed to eat. No. He didn't see that. Borei Olam saw, Bayar Elohim et ma'asehem. He saw their actions. Kishavu midarkam hara'ah. They repented, they changed their behaviors. וינחם על אלוהים על הרע אשר דיבר לעשות להם ולא עשה. בורא עולם, in our language, in your language, he changed his mind. In our language. But it means he changed the decree. Then he spared them.
So Rabbi, even Hamas could do teshuvah.
I think I have a long way to go.
Now, gentlemen, ladies, listen, what would you expect now? What's the next war? What do you think now? Now, the next war, the next 2-3 wars, are going to be another hint for the question we had, why Yonah didn't want to go. You said he was scared. He was scared of what? Maybe people won't listen to me, maybe they will kill me. So, if that would have been the reason, what should we expect to find out? Yonah was relieved. Oh, Baruch Hashem, they listened to me. But do you know what it says here right now? It says, Vayira el Yonah ra'a gedola vayicharlo. Let me see. And Yonah was displeased and angry. He was displeased and angry. Why?
You said I was sleeping, why wake me up?
No, seriously.
Why Hashem accepted their tefillah?
Right. So again, 2 or 3. Now, listen. Perhaps I cannot tell you this is the answer, but right now I can eliminate a couple of answers. It's not that he was scared, embarrassed, people will kill him, people won't listen to him. He succeeded. His mission was a tremendous success. But he is displeased with his success. So the alternative answer that we have is, perhaps this is a slap on the face of Israel, which I think is there. Or perhaps, I don't believe in Teshuvah. If they sin, they have to pay. Or perhaps Teshuvah is reserved only for them. Teshuvah is just reserved for us, and this individually. Shouldn't be for the Goyim. Perhaps these people in Nineveh, they were going to attack Israel. That's another alternative. But he was displeased with his mission. Ironic, right? It's very ironic. And again, the Torah doesn't say anything. Okay? Vayitpalel Adonai vayomar, and he prayed to Borei Olam and said, what do you think he said? Thank you. He doesn't thank you. He said, Ana Hashem, alo ze levarai, ala yoti ala almati al ken kilanti levar tarshisha. This is what I said. Ki yadati, ki ata el hanum berachum, elech hapayim berav chesed. Continue. It's not Ve'emet, doesn't say here. This word is missing. The word Ve'emet is missing. V'nicham ala ra'ah. I knew that you are, it's like, sorry, I'm going to use a metaphor. I knew you were too soft. I knew you were to forgive them. This is why I didn't want to come. Explicitly. So one explanation I heard from Rabbi Sabato is that doesn't say emet because truth, because he's engaged. He wants the emet. He doesn't. He's not accusing Borei Olam of using the emet. The opposite. He's using midat. Midat rachamim, midat din, right? Midat din means strict justice. You did something wrong, I kill you. You have to pay for it. That's midat rachamim. Midat din. Midat rachamim is you did something wrong, I give you an opportunity. I will forgive you. And then, now we see that he's not happy with the Teshuvah. Again, why? Anybody now wants to rephrase his answer to this? The biggest question of the book is why Yonah was displeased. You want to say something?
Yeah, I think you said it basically, that he's upset that God isn't being Yashar, not being Emet. He's not giving them the punishment that they deserve.
But he knows that Borei Olam is Rachum Bechanun,
But he's
He
also
knew that.
supposed to be a Met. That's what the pasuk says somewhere else.
Right.
He's supposed to be a Met. Why isn't he being a Met?
So he's like looking at these people like real Hamas, and he's like, what are you doing?
That's a very good point.
This
That's a very
He
good
has
point.
a hatred, a deep hatred for them. It seems like
It's for them. It's for them. But wait a second.
Yes, Hashem forgot.
Okay, sounds good, but I don't know if this is realistic. We don't have any evidence that the people of Nineveh were Reshaim that wanted to destroy Israel. I just put
Hamas in there.
No, Hamas in there. I put that on the table, but it's a little deceiving. I don't think he was going. I knew that Nineveh had any issue against Israel. I don't think so. But
It seems like it's more about the concept of Teshuvah.
But just with the Goyim, just with the Goyim, right? Just with the Goyim. What about what I said, that this is very bad propaganda for Am Israel? It's a slap on the face of Am Israel. I send you 40 Nevi'im, you never did Teshuvah. The only time we did Teshuvah is when we were in Purim, at the verge of being killed, all of us, we did Teshuvah. We are difficult. ואתה אדוני, קח נא את נפשי ממני, kill me. כי טוב מותי מחיי, I want to die. You know what? If we would have some evidence that this is a nationalistic thing, that these people are like Hamas or ISIS, and I just saved Hamas, I just saved their life, the life of those who want to kill us, kill me. Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
makes sense.
I don't
I
see.
give you an example. Ishmael was he did Teshuvah. Everybody said the Hamas they came from the tribe of Ishmael, and he did Teshuvah.
Right,
How can he do?
Okay, any other opinion? Anyone else? Yes. Still, the principle is the same. You see what Chachamim took from here? It's not, Yonah had a different opinion. And I think actually you said that, how can you have a different opinion from Borei Olam? Who are you? Emet. Okay, it sounds good, it doesn't say Emet. I don't think that you have to be Rahum. Who am I to say Rahum? I don't know. I think, but I'm not sure. I think it's Categoria is called for Am Israel. This is like very bad. Reflects very bad in Am Israel. That's what I think. Yes.
As a Navi of Israel, he should feel that way, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't God's plan, but as far as Yonah is concerned, he has a responsibility towards Am Yisrael. He should feel more nationalistic. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, right. But I'm not saying that they were Israel's enemies. I'm not saying that. The fact that they did Teshuvah, yes.
But he didn't mention Am Yisrael when he complained.
I told you that the Torah doesn't explain the whys, and here we have half why. We don't have the whole why. We still don't know. We still don't know. Okay. It's a mysterious book, seriously. It's a very mysterious book. Even the way it ends, I don't have an answer to tell you how what Hashem does with the Kikayon answers what Yonah is questioned. Yes.
Would you say that the story of Nineveh doing Teshuvah is a subplot of the book? Because if it was just about Nineveh, a subplot of the book of Yonah. It's not the main point of Yonah, because if it was all about that, then what's the fourth chapter about? You know? It seems more about Yonah's experience.
Well, according to the vision of the rabbis, of our Chachamim, yes, it is the way the people of Nineveh did Teshuvah. That is, ironically, the model for us. That is the model for us. You see, we are humble. No other people of no civilization would have, in their most important holiday, a story of how the other people behave well. We are the epitome of objectivity. You understand? We are taking this and saying, yeah, we were very stubborn. We never did collective teshuvah. Maybe in the time of Yoash, maybe when the Sefer Torah was discovered, maybe.
But also the highlights of the kavods.
Rabbi, I think what Sean is trying to say, and I was thinking about that also. Up to now, I always thought the reason we read Yonah is Hashem heard Yonah's prayer and he was saved from the daga, and he lived. I never looked at the point of the Ninveh doing teshuvah and being accepted and being sincere.
That's the whole point.
Well, up to now, I mean, that's what we used to look at
I told you before that he was in a suicidal suicidal mood. Then he says, please kill me. He says, קח נא את נפשי ממני, כי טוב מותי מחיי. He wants to die. It's not about Yonah that is saved and is happy that he's saved. Yonah is miserable. Yonah is miserable that he had to do this mission and that he succeeded in his mission. It's very awkward. Okay, but as I said, the most important thing is the way they did teshuvah.
Sincere.
No, sorry. I go again. This is the derasha. This is the derasha of Yom Kippur. It doesn't matter the ta'anit. Sorry. Boram is not going to look at the ta'anit. You do ta'anit, you use sackcloth. We don't use leather shoes. This is our sackcloth. Okay? And we fast the whole day.
How much you kavod in it?
No, that yes. Okay. Now, that's important. But when Hashem has to decide, He's not going to look at how much you didn't eat or how poor were your sneakers. He's going to look if you changed your bad habits or not. That is the whole point of this book, according to our rabbis. You got it? The rest is, how do you say, subplot? The rest is philosophy, things we don't understand. I don't know. And there is a lot of pesukim, beautiful pesukim, the tefillah of Yonah, when Yonah comes and calls Hashem. There is even the reflect at the end, kind of Yonah understands. Okay, let me read for you just very. Vayman Hashem Elohim ki kayom vayal me'al Yonah liot tzel al rosho le'atzil lo mera'ato. Apparently Yonah, the skin was terrible, and then he was in the desert or in a very deserted place, and we understand. Borei Olam make for him like a kind of a bush or some kind of a plant, and he was relieved that he had this plant. וימן אלוהים תולעת בעלות השחר למחרת בטח את הקיקיון ויבש. And the next day, overnight, this kikion, this bush is gone. It's gone. All right? But and again, ויקז רוח השמש, it was very hot. וימן אלוהים רוח קדים, חרישית, and the Quran brought 50. Okay, very hard. ותח השמש על ראש יונה, והתעלף, and he got dehydrated, and he passed out. He passed out. וישאל נפשו למות. He again wanted to die. ויאמר טוב מותי מחיי. It's better to die because he's still in a miserable situation and doesn't even have this kikion. ויאמר אלוהים אל יונה. And now, I have to confess to you. I will make a confession. I still don't understand. I'm not embarrassed to say I still don't understand, because I have to leave something for when I am 60 or 70. I say, oh, now I have this question all my life, and now right? We have to have questions. I don't understand. I don't understand how this mashal fits the nimshal. I don't. Because what happened? Yonah complains to Olam, you killed the kikayon. You have compassion for this kikayon, but now is my question. You don't have compassion for the kikayon. Yonah had compassion for himself. It wasn't for the kikayon. It's not, oh, Boram, how do you destroy this beautiful mountain? No. Something that was benefiting me. So I don't understand. Harali, Bayomer, Etev Harali al-Mavet, yes, to death. It bothered me to death that you kill this kikayon. ויאמר אדוני, אתה חסת על הכיכיון אשר לא עמלת בו ולא גידלתו. You had compassion for this bush. You didn't work for it. You didn't do anything for it. שבין לילה הוא היה ולילה עמד. That overnight was grown and overnight was destroyed. ואני לא אחוס על ניניבה, and I won't have compassion for ניניבה, העיר הגדולה, אשר יש בה הרבה משתם 10 ריבוע אדם. There is more than 120,000 people. There's so many people who are innocent and they don't know anything. That's the end of it. How the kikayon fits here, I still don't understand. Anybody can help me, please? You understood my question? Thank you. You understood my question? I don't see the relationship. Something to think about. Okay, so I want to wish every one of us to have a successful teshuvah. We have to be the Yonah of ourselves and Yonah of our family, all right? And but like Yonah, we have to be happy about us doing teshuvah, and we have to learn from the people of Nineveh that they did ta'anit. They use all the uniform that they have to use, sackcloth, avelut, everything. But what Borei Olam care at the time of the truth is not how you look, it's what you do. It's not the ta'anit, it's what happens after Yom Kippur. And that's the big lesson from Yonah. צריך עליו את הקשה, אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא